Front entranceways to properties are a critical aspect that needs planning. They don't just keep things in and keep things out and look pretty. There's some other significant issues you should think about as well. I've come to visit Sam today from Horsley Wholesale as he's planning a spectacular new front entrance, and he wants to talk to us about a few things that he recommends people think about before they take the step. Sam.
Hey Tim, how you going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good yourself. Good to see you.
Yeah, no, look, it's always good to come out here, mate. Mate, this front entrance is looking pretty spectacular. I'm hearing rock walls and concrete footings and all sorts of amazing stuff.
You know, we're ethnics, mate, big lions coming out the front as well, gargoyles.
But it's not just about looks and function, is it? There's a few other aspects that, in your experience being quite a well-known firefighter, that are very important when people are planning front entranceways to their property.
That's right.
Well, let's go and have a look at a couple of the key features here that you're putting into this design that you reckon most people should think about.
Absolutely.
And we'll have a chat about what people can do next.
No worries.
So first things first, mate, your front entrance, your gate.
Yep.
You've got to have a wide enough gate, don't you?
That's right. So when we bought the place, this grid was all the way up there. Right. So what we've done is we've brought the grid down, we've sunk it, so it's nice and flat.
So that's important. You're giving enough room for the truck to get completely off the road.
That's correct.
Not foul the traffic if they've got to open a gate or get through.
That's right. So because we've got cattle on the property, we've made it big enough that a semi can pull in, stop, open the gate, and continue through, and the trailer's 100% off the road.
Point one: recess your gate far enough for trucks to get off the road.
Yep.
Before they have to get out of the cab.
Absolutely.
Now, there was another issue with this grid, wasn't there? It's a 3.6 metre wide grid.
That's right. But
which is a good size.
Yeah, it's a great size grid. But what they had was like a 3 metre or 2.9 metre gate. So you had to hold your breath when you drove through in a truck. Truck's been 2.7 and it was right on the road. So you come in on a bend. Yeah, it was interesting.
So if you do something like that, you're immediately restricting access for emergency vehicles and also normal delivery vehicles.
That's right.
And so in a time of emergency, you're likely to have your fences cut in that situation rather than using the gate and potentially damaging the vehicle.
Absolutely. Like an emergency vehicle or whatever would rather go through a gate than cut a fence. And they try absolutely not to cut fences, but if it's going to be the easiest way in because your gate's locked with a padlock that King Kong couldn't open, well, your fences are the next best.
Now, it's not just a 3.6 metre gate for all situations, is there? You've got to look at the entranceway and look at the angle to the road. That's
right. That's right. So as you can see through here, it's dead straight. So we can just come straight through and don't have to worry about it.
But as they say in the classics, Sam, when it comes to gates, but wait, there's more. This is going to be another gateway.
Yeah, another gateway.
Not stopping at 3.6 with this one, eh?
Nah, 7.2 on this one, Tim.
So 2 3/6s on this?
2 3/6s on this gate here, and you'll be able to get heavy equipment through or whatever you want.
And once again, there's plenty of room over here on the pad to pull off the highway and actually open the gate before they swing in.
That's it. Or even if I had to open it, they could pull straight in and keep going and they wouldn't have to worry about stopping.
So people often underestimate the size of the gate that they need to put on their front entrance, and I suppose it comes down to cost, but what they've got to consider is that vehicles actually need to be able to turn off the road as well.
That's right. You know, you can save $50, $60 on a gate between a 3 metre and a 4.2, but you get a truck come through and clip your strainer, it's going to cost you a lot more than $80 to fix the problem that he's created.
So lesson number 2, don't scrimp on your gate size. Over order rather than under order.
That's right.
And over here, Sam, we've got tip number 3. Mate, it's just a sign. What's the significance here?
Oh, look, if a blind man can't see it, neither can a fire truck, eh? They're flying up and down the road trying to find your place.
Smoke,
dark,
trying to find you.
It's not good. Even ambos are like, if you've got a medical emergency, you know, there's no big signs that, hey, glow, look at me. You know, they're trying to see this number. So the bigger that number can be and the closer to the front it can be.
And nice bright colours that stand out.
That reflect, 100%.
All right, so tip number 3, property number on the front gate.
Absolutely.
Close to the road, big, and don't let it get rusty and old.
And clean around it.
Now the next bit is the actual driveway itself, Sam.
That's right.
To me, fairly good and safe. There's no trees on either side of it. You've got reduced hazards and plenty of room either side.
That's right. So the driveway's nice and clear. You can see where you're going. No massive potholes, no edges for slips. But it's when you get to the property line where the houses and whatnot are, that's when things can change.
Now, it's important to note as well, I see you've got a bit of a bridge here, Sam. It's really important that the bridges can maintain a certain amount of tonnage.
Yeah, that's right,
What's the
Tim.
weight of the average fire truck?
Cat 1, Tim, weighs 13.5 tonne from memory.
Yep.
So if you built a bridge that would engineered would take 15 tonne, you'd be pretty right. You'd obviously have to put that all through council and get it all certified, but this old bridge has been here since, oh, God knows, but she can take it. So
She can take the tonnage.
She can take
So make sure that your bridges and infrastructure can carry at least 15 tonnes.
That's right. Well, another one that is your grids. Your grids have got to be able at least to take the 15 tonne.
So Sam, you reckon the most important part of the driveway is actually up at the house end, and we're here now.
That's right.
What are some of the things people need to be mindful of when they're designing the front of their house?
You have to remember that when a truck comes in, a fire truck comes in, they want to come in, they want to be able to turn around and face the way they're going to exit.
And they're going to do that before they start to help you?
Absolutely, because their safety is just as important. So if they have to leave in a hurry, or if they finish this job and got to go to the next one in a hurry, they're already pointing the same way, no reversing and mucking around trying to get out. The other thing is, if another truck comes in around, it knows it can turn around and it can go then just join the queue. So if you've got good turning circles in your place, always the best.
So you've got a turning circle here. What diameter turning circle would you recommend as being about the minimum that you should be aiming for?
10 to 11 metres, they say.
So if a turning circle makes your car have to go forwards and reverse, a fire truck's not going to bother your house.
Not a chance. Yeah, if your turning circle's that tight that your Hyundai can't get around it, yeah, truck got no chance.
So 11 metre diameter and have a turning circle in front of your house. It not only looks good, but it means you're more likely to have the fire brigade stay and help fight the fire.
That's it, or they won't damage anything when they're coming around trying to turn around.
Now I'm into fences. Let's go and have a look at a fence setup that's particularly important for fighting these fires. You've also got this paddock set up as a bit of a bushfire retreat for your stock, is that correct?
That's correct. So it runs off its own solar energiser, all gal posts, porcelain insulator, so if a fire goes through, they're not going to burn and melt. And if fire comes through, we can get all our cattle in there safely and we can monitor them.
Now you've also got steel tank and concrete trough in that paddock as well, so you've got fireproof water sources also.
That's correct.
A lot of stock actually become really unhealthy and can pass away not because of the fire but because there's no water afterwards.
That's right, dehydration's a big thing. So in this paddock we can feed and water, and it's always, the concrete tank's always full, and with guaranteed water for our stock.
Now you've situated this paddock not on the top of a hill and not in the bottom of a gully. You've got it below the brow of the hill.
That's right.
What's the reason for that situation, mate?
Fire always burns uphill faster than what it goes down. It's the only thing that goes up faster than it goes down. So it's the safest point is down the bottom of this hill. That's where we keep our stock.
And you're avoiding sharp gullies, you were saying too, because you can actually run out of oxygen in
those
gullies.
There's a theory that in a gully there can be an oxygen deficiency inside a gully. So they say that you should always keep out of gullies, especially sharp ones.
Well, Sam, thanks so much for spending your time out with us in the paddock today.
Absolute pleasure, Tim.
Really
anytime.
Appreciate it. You speak to a lot of people through your business, Horsley Wholesale.
Yep, we sure do.
And there is a need for this sort of education out there. So well done and thanks very much for passing it around.
Absolute pleasure, Tim. And if I can share the little bit I know, someone had to give it to me, the knowledge, and I'm happy to share it on. It's how the world goes round, isn't it?
Well, that's what this channel was started for, and that's what this channel continues to be. So if you like knowledge sharing, hit the little subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. Plenty more on timthompson.ag, and I'll rope Sam into something in the future. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, amen to that.